I'm going to share with you a story that just happened recently, and it's not the first time something like this has happened, but what it does is it clearly defines why so many agents get distracted and ultimately fail with almost everything they do, whether it be social media, production, prospecting, anything. So I'm going to share with you a few details of this story, and then what I'm going to do is actually pull up a visual to show you and prove why what I'm saying is true. And hopefully what this is going to do is give you a different perspective so that you don't fall into the same trap, because it's really easy to avoid. It's just some people don't even think in the right manner. So I want to give you a bit of a mindset trip today and help you better understand how to succeed in real estate, no matter how you want to approach it, whether it be the modern way, traditional way, a blend of both, anything. But without further ado, let's dive into this story. What's up, guys? It's Mike Sherrard with EVERY Realty. I train thousands of agents every single year to scale their business using social media, which is an ironic introduction because of this story. So let me explain. And again, this is not the first time something like this has happened. So I have my social media training, the Social Agent Academy. If you want to see the free version, you can just drop a comment below. But anyway, that academy has helped agents crush it on social media. It's helped agents double, triple, quadruple the production, do almost 90 million in their first year. And anybody that has committed to the process has done astronomically well. Now, let me explain the story. So I get an email the other day, it was last week, and it was a guy that said, Mike, I want a refund for the program. It's been 3 days and I don't have any leads. It's like, okay. It's like, I've been putting out the same videos as, Suman and Vinay and Dimitri and John, and I put out the same videos and I have no leads, so it doesn't work for me. It's like, okay, so in 3 days, you've gone through half the material, put out 2 videos, and you don't have any leads. So then he further goes on to say, well, Mike, Andy, you know what? All of those people that you use as case studies have used your branding agency, and I can't afford to do that. Okay, well, let me explain that in a second here. And then he went on to say that I can't afford to invest money into anything, and I need deals right now. It's like, okay, so the first thing is I was not going to deal with somebody like that, so I just gave him a refund and said, please don't ever contact me again. But let me unpack this for a second, and then I'm going to dive into the visual strategy. So number one, most real estate agents get distracted and fail because they cannot commit to anything. So let me break this down. Suman, for example, 87 deals, $67 million in production in his first 12 months as a new agent in the new market, solely from YouTube, just by going through the exact same training that this guy went through. The difference is Suman executed every single week for 12 months. John Pena, living in El Paso, Texas, YouTube channel. Same training, averaging about 8 to 10 deals a month now, 3 to 5 deals a month after his first 5 months from his new channel as a new agent in a new city. Went through the exact same training, followed the exact same process, and committed for 12 months. Vinay, Dimitri, Marty, I could come up with a laundry list of people that have all gone through the same process, the same training, with no extra help, and are doing 5 to 10 deals per month with the exact training. The key is all of them committed for over 6 months. Now let's talk about some of the other things, because again, this is going to start to come together as I start to pull the story and then bring up the visual. The second aspect that this guy brought up is, Mike, all of these agents use your branding agency, so they've got better branding, and I can't afford to use you guys for video editing. Suman does not use my branding agency, and he edits his own videos on iMovie, which is a free platform. And he's going to do probably over $100 million this year solo himself from YouTube, editing his own videos. John edits his own videos. Vinay does her own content. And so does almost everybody else that this guy was referencing. So now people are having excuses that they can't even validate they're just coming up with. And saying that they don't have enough money to invest in certain things, they've all done it for free. So when you start looking at this is what happens with a lot of people. A lot of agents are looking for instant gratification because of the society that we've lived in. Well, if you look at anybody that's actually successful in not just real estate, but business, they understand the concept very clearly of delayed gratification, that you have to put relentless time in over and over and over consistently in order to make something work. And the beautiful part about real estate is you can be consistent with door knocking, cold calling, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, anything, and crush it. However, the caveat is you have to be consistent for an extended period of time in order to actually get results. But the problem is that so many people try something for a month, doesn't get the results they're hoping for. Oh, can't work for me. Doesn't work for me, not for me, can't do it, never gonna work, I'm gonna fail at it. On to the next thing. Let's say you go from YouTube, okay, now I'm gonna try TikTok. Month goes by with TikTok. Oh, haven't gone viral yet, still don't have over 1,000 followers, and no clients have reached out, so TikTok is just not where it's gonna be. Let's try Facebook ads. A couple weeks go by, oh, don't have any leads that turn into a client, which, by the way, you don't even have enough data to adjust your ads to perform to convert clients, and you didn't follow up with any of those leads more than once, but Facebook ads, they just don't work. And this is what happens over and over and over. And this is why they get so distracted, is because they can't commit to anything, to the point that if something doesn't work within the first 30 days, they're on to the next thing, distracted by the next shiny penny that somebody says is going to work. I'm here to tell you that no matter what anybody tells you, you can crush it and build a multiple 6-7 figure per year real estate business doing anything. Doing your sphere, doing events, doing investors, doing social media, doing traditional prospecting. It doesn't matter as long as you excel and work on developing your craft and consistently do it day in and day out. The problem is most people won't do that. So now what I want to do is I'm going to pull up this visual for you so that we can actually walk through the performance cycle, which is done by one of my business partners at EVERY Realty, David Binns. I'm going to put his link and his information below, but this is going to visually help you guys understand this concept and really drive home what we're talking about here. All right, guys, so now let's walk through the performance cycle as mentioned by my business partner, David Binns, who's an incredible coach, and I'll put all of his stuff below. But this was from one of the private conversations and one of the four weekly mastermind calls that we do with our group at the Wolfpack at EXP. And we dive deep into stuff like this, a lot deeper, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of the tip of the iceberg here. So this is the performance cycle, where what you see is that agents start with planning and they do all this research. They go to seminars, they go to training, they study lead generation, they're planning their business, writing out the perfect 12-month plan. They're time blocking, they're looking at, lead generation ideas. And then after they, get a little bit creative and they look at their desires, as you can see down here, they then go to the repeated action section. And this is what happens. So if they want to start being active on social media, they start putting out social content. Or if they want to, increase their production through prospecting, they start door knocking and cold calling, or, nurturing their sphere and following up and all of this kind of stuff that they did during the planning section. Now they're executing on it. The problem is that they start to create resistance, because again, in order to actually get to the point where you move to the momentum stage, you need to do this for at least 30, usually 90 days. 90 days, in my opinion, is the bare minimum to do anything. So oftentimes, like the story in the beginning, this guy does it for 3 days and suddenly he's not getting the results because he's got resistance, he's got frustration, fear, anger, he's tired. And then what happens is you bounce back and forth through here. And this is what happens to all kinds of realtors. Okay, YouTube didn't work, back to planning. Okay, now I'm gonna spend time, training and learning TikTok, for example. And then you try it, and then again, you try for less than 30 days, way less than 90 days, and you start, again, getting frustrated that you're not going viral, getting the views that you wanted, the followers. And then you start to, again, get fearful that it's never going to work out, and you start comparing yourself to other agents that are doing well because everybody's got a different situation, and then you get angry and tired, and then you go back and then you do more training. And this is why it's the resistance section, because most agents struggle because they bounce back and forth between constant planning and repeated action, not for a long period of time. So for example, every agent that I know of that's gone through the YouTube section of the Social Agent Academy and consistently executed for about, again, as you can see here, about 90 days, so about 3 months, they're all starting to generate their first clients. But it's usually in that last 30 days, because of the momentum that it took to build the foundation in the first 60 days, to now the repeated action over time starts to build as we can see here, momentum, which then leads to booked appointments and the results that you're looking for. Now you get excited, you feel a sense of accomplishment because you're actually getting tangible results. But the problem is just because you're not seeing something tangible from the repeated action in the first 90 days does not mean you're making no progress. There is tangible progress, intangible progress. Tangible progress, booking appointments, getting calls, closing deals, getting leads, all of that. Intangible progress is what I've done for years before I started getting any results, which is putting out free content, building a pipeline, building a foundation, gaining authority, building brand awareness to the point that at some point, if you're consistent with it, you will start to get clients, because again, what you need to understand is it's proven by everybody. If you look at anybody that's been successful, there's people I know that make 7 figures a year with cold calling. There's people I know that make 7 figures a year with door knocking, 7 figures a year with YouTube, Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok. Like, it does not matter. You just have to be consistent until you get to momentum, and then you start getting expansion. Now, the problem is this is where a lot of people go a little bit sideways, is once you get to expansion, you have to have the right systems and processes in place. This is what I work with the people that join us at the Wolfpack at EXP a lot on, is making sure that people have got systems and processes that allow them to scale because of the amount of clients we're going to help them get. And it does become a little bit overwhelming, but once you get through that period of expansion, because it's uncomfortable, extremity expands capacity, you need to go to the extreme of what you're comfortable with in order to expand your capacity of what you're capable of. Then you go into the flow section where, again, clients and deals are flowing directly towards you, like Suman, on track to do over 120 million this year in production, entirely free from his YouTube channel as a second-year agent with no prospecting and no door knocking or ad spend. Now it becomes ease. Well, once it gets to the point where you're in this flow stage, now you reformulate and it's time to expand the systems, create more leverage, build a team like we help all the agents do that partner with us, level up your marketing in different avenues to see how you can target your audience in different ways, more creative ways, more value-driven ways, investing back into your business, and then it repeats. The problem is that all 7-figure per year entrepreneurs and realtors go to the point where they get to the flow stage, and before they get too comfortable, they reformulate and find new strategies to take you to the next level. All under 6-figure per year realtors are the ones that are just barely scratching the 6-figure per year business, are the ones that are constantly staying within this, resistance phase of planning, partial action, planning, trying something, planning, doesn't work for me, back to the drawing board. And this is what happens all the time. So if you want to be a successful real estate agent, look at this. This is just how it works. It's a performance cycle. You have to commit consistently to doing things repeatedly over time and commit to the process of delayed gratification, knowing that there is somebody out there, probably in my own network for every single scenario, and probably in yours too, that has thrived and excelled and built a wildly successful real estate business doing anything. They just did it consistently over time at a highest level, built their skill sets, developed it, and then continued to reformulate and add to that. So hopefully this makes sense. Just wanted to give you a visual to help you better understand it and see it, because I know a lot of people are visual learners more so than just hearing me talk. So hopefully this provides some context to you. I don't usually share stories, but I thought this was a good one that you might be able to either get a bit of a laugh out of, because the few that I've shared it with definitely thought it was pretty crazy, or use it as an opportunity to just look at how you're approaching your business to make sure that you don't fall victim to this. So thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.